Welcome back to the Thanks for Rolling podcast. I'm Pat Campanola here alongside my partner in crime, Jeff Pallone, and today we have a very special guest, John Doomsday Howard.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
So you came out straight from New Hampshire today. I saw you teaching classes this morning, hopped in the car and came right out here.
Yeah, actually, I teach every Saturday up there in New Hampshire, Burgess MMA. Shout out to Nate. I follow Black Belt under Dave Ginsburg. So I go out there, get some rolling in and teach, and we train each other and helps also. As soon as I got done with that teaching the Muay Thai down there, I came right down here.
Awesome. So is that where you train normally?
Yeah, I cross train with a lot of gyms. Definitely my home jiu-jitsu based gyms is Dave Ginsburg and 200 Mass Ave, Cambridge in Boston. My main gym for my striking, my base gym from everything, from MMA especially, is FAF, kickboxing in Holbrook, under Sean Graham.
Yep.
He's my head coach, oversees all of my striking MMA and put together. I cross train at other gyms for like sparring and stuff like that here and there. I try to get my work in, but that's my three main gyms right now.
Yeah.
And also I got to mention, it's my I call him my son, but my number one student is Jake Gorilla, Gorilla Pillar. He trains Gorilla Fitness up in Tewksbury, and that's another gym I'm out of.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I see you like posting sometimes from other places,
yeah,
like floating around. So yeah, that's cool. Do you remember the very first fight you ever got into? I'm not like amateur professional fighting, but like the first scrap you ever got into.
The very first fight, yeah, I do. I remember that my very first fight and my very first brutal fight. My very first fight was it was interesting. Didn't want to fight, had to fight, got put in a situation, kept getting hit, and just kind of lost and just hit back. And I don't know who won the fight, but it was just the exchange. My very first brutal fight, I was 12 years old. I had this kid way bigger than me who like hit my eyes so bad, swelled up, and at that moment, it was just, we had a look like he was winning this fight, and then I didn't know it. And I forget, I ran and did like a drop kick, hit him. We going back and forth. The kid, I was 12. The kid was 16. He won the fight, but he don't forget that I came back. I had one little comeback, and that was one of those fights. It was kind of devastating for me because I had this biggest black eye and everything. Yeah. But I knew in that moment when I got hit, when I was in so much pain, so much anger, so much, that I came back and gave him something. And he gave me props for that. And that's why I knew, like, maybe I can fight.
Yeah. The rest is history, as they say, right?
The rest is history.
Little did he know that giving you that black eye could change everything for you, right?
I think that one fight did. That fight right there let me know that I could take a lick and then keep on ticking.
Yeah. That's funny. Like, I remember being in fights as kids and like afterwards being like, this sucks. Right? like, man, this sucks.
I think that's the difference in the fighters and the non-fighters.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? Jeez. So then tell us about how you got to, to be, where you realized like fighting is going to be what I'm going to do.
It became I actually went to Job Corps. When I went to Job Corps, I went to be an electrician. My trade is a construction worker, electrician.
Yeah. I
went there and I met this guy named I'm not going to say his name. I'm just going to call him Mr. Stokes because probably get mad at saying his real name. He was like a freestyle grappler into sambo, stuff like that, and he showed me grappling once. I was like, well, I could fight, man. I'm from a little street in me. Man, he took me to this back room and he just beat the hell out of me. I didn't know what was going on. Like, he didn't even throw one punch. All he kept doing was like, you could punch me in that. He did not hit me once, thank God. He just kept grappling me and like, what are you doing to me? Then he showed me. And then when he showed me, I ran with it. I started studying, looking up Google. I found out what UFC was. I didn't know what MMA was. I didn't know none of this stuff existed until I'm like 18, 19, Job Corps. Like, I seen stuff of it, but not have a full education of it as I did after messing with it.
What year was this?
And this was 2002. Yeah, 2002, 2003. Yeah, that was a long, wow. Shit. Thanks, man.
Not to date all of us.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, it was that long ago. Yeah, man. And, yep, I knew nothing. And from that, I had an education. I started Googling and got on the computers. And from there, I said, I knew from that day, I learned what I wanted to learn. And I want to do this. Like, I want to do this.
No kidding.
No kidding. And it was funny. A lot of Job Corps students was saying, I was like, I'm going to be the UFC fight. They used to clown me and like tell me I never have the teachers like, yeah, out your mind. You're not here for that. You're here for this. And one day I called them back like, did you see me in UFC? Yeah, like, told you.
That's awesome. That's great.
What was that first call up like? That first call to the UFC?
It was crazy, man. That for my heart dropped. I was like, what? Because the card I got called on, I'll never forget it, was BJ Penn versus GSP.
Big one.
That was a big one.
I remember
I
that
was
one.
like, what? That's the card I'm on. It was the it was a rematch.
Yep.
So I was like, oh snap. I was like, all right, cool. So I had to fight Chris Wilson. Chris Wilson is almost just going over decision, lost the decision. It's a close decision on John Fitch. So I was like, damn, that's the guy I'm fighting. But I didn't care. It was the UFC.
Yeah.
So went in there. Had a great fight. I mean, it was just the whole experience being in Vegas was amazing. Flying down there and getting there. But when you actually go in the cage and have that fight, especially against someone a good opponent like Chris Wilson, you know, and then the most scary part, Nogueira was in his corner. That scared me. Like I never was like, oh my God, Nogueira, I love you. I watch you. Oh my God, you're cornering against me, and I got to beat this guy up to win. So one had a good fight. One split decision. And then from there, I got Fight of the Night, which changed my whole life. But like, what the best part about getting Fight of the Night on that card for me is because I got Fight of the Night over GSP.
Yeah.
Right.
And BJ Penn.
Yeah.
That right
Stopping
there.
BJ Penn.
Is that, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy. Like I got the fight over that. Like that right there to let me know. You know what? I need to be here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
So before that, were you expecting the call up, or did it just come out of the blue? Like, were things in the works, or was it a big surprise?
It was things in the works, and the call up was up in the air. And it was just like basically always stay ready and be ready just in case something happens. And when it did, you know, I was ready and I popped up. And I was ready, and they gave me a fight. And like, are you ready? Can you make weight? And it was like that. That's why they say they tell fighters to stay ready, because you never know. You never know. People drop out. People get hurt. If your weight class, stay at least close to discipline. At least give it a week or two so you can get ready for a fight. Because you never know. That call comes. I was like, that's what happened to me.
Yeah,
I was 3 weeks out, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm ready. I don't care.
Yeah.
I call up my arm to make weight.
I'll make it work. Right. Damn. So I know, obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, right? But I want to talk about getting that call to fight in Boston for the UFC, right? Like the next level, right? I'm sure you've been asked about this a million times,
Yes,
right?
I love it.
As a hometown guy, and I remember I was there, went to the UFC. It was the first time that they were going to be on FS1, right? It was first card in Boston or second card in Boston?
That was I think it was the second. Card. Yeah, it was the second because McGregor was on that card.
Yes, McGregor was on that card. Yep.
Fun fact.
Yep.
McGregor was on the card.
Yep. That's right. That's right. Because I remember he came out to ship him to Boston. And everybody went crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I remember looking at the card and being like, "Oh, Doomsday's on there. Like that's got to be awesome." So you got called to fight Uriah Hall, right?
Yep.
So what was that like? Like I'm back, right? And I'm back into my hometown.
That was awesome. That was like so much pressure, but it was a dream come true. Like I know being from Boston, everybody from Boston. I don't call it the Fleet Center. I call it the Boston Garden.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So when I went there to be in the Boston Garden and do your sport, you know, I've been there to see the Celtics and see the Bruins, I've been there to see the Celtics losing and come back out of nowhere. It's just that Boston luck we have sometimes. It's just I always want to be in that. Like, I wish I could be in this fight and be in the situation where my own people are pushing me, and that was what happened. Now, a dream came true. I get to walk down to the Boston, you know, walk in my hometown, be a Boston hero, and fight in the Boston Garden. That was amazing, and win.
Yeah.
And win. And the best part is, like, for the people that know from Boston, I beat a guy from New York.
Yeah.
He's from New York. So that was even better. I was like, the little rivalry, you know. So at the weigh-ins, I walked up with my Boston hat on, like, listen, all due respect to Uriah Hall, I like, but Yankees sucked. You in Boston. That's what I said to him. He was like, oh yeah, you about to get the Boston beat down, dude.
Yeah, and he was like coming off hype, right?
Yeah,
he come off the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
and
he just knocked that kid out with a spinning heel kick. I
Yeah.
mean, he was coming off there. They expect this kid to kill me. I was like, nah, dude, you in Boston. Try again.
Yeah, there was no way you could lose that fight, right?
No.
Yeah. That was. I remember that was pretty exciting. And you had been out of the UFC for a little while at that point, right?
I was at the UFC for about a year and a half at that time, and then you have to give me a second chance, give me a call back, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And went right in.
Yeah, that's awesome. What a great moment to be in your. It's funny when I wrote the question down. I wrote down the garden too. Like that's the way I think of it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the Fleet Center. That was a weird thing to even hear said, right?
I just watched back that fight again a couple weeks ago. I think you did too. We were talking about it.
Yep.
Such a fun fight.
Yeah,
Both of you guys looked like you're having a blast.
It was having fun. Actually, no, in that fight, it's funny because we started talking about Tekken in that fight. Third round, you can see I whipped his hand. I was like, "Hey, bro, you want to play Tekken after?" He's like, "Yeah, all right, cool." we started talking, and it's funny. Me and you, we had this like cool relationship. All fighters, I think, we're cool, but me and his relationship, we had to understand that being martial artists and being fighters. It's like, look, man, we're doing a business. We're doing what it is. You know, let's just do what we got to do after that. You know, have some fun. And actually, after the fight, not necessarily after that fight, I'd say like a few months later, we had business in Vegas together. And we finally had that Tekken match.
Oh, that's awesome.
And of course I won, which really, that kind of hurt him too. But I was like, hey, you know,
got your number.
I got your number.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that was a fun moment. Like that was. It's always cool to see. I mean, it was exciting to have the UFC in Boston. Period. Like that just had like a ton of energy to it, right? Like here we are, and it was again, like you said, the. McGregor, nobody knew who he was really at that point, but he got everybody hyped up coming out to that song and like, and then
and just being a fan of Boston sports, it's always exciting to see the local guys get their big shots.
Yeah. And it's because of Boston. It's because of Boston. Basically, I feel like kind of Boston pushed that at that time. And I thank Boston for that because it wasn't for them. I don't know if I got gotten that card. It was just the right time and the right place. Like, hey, listen, well, since you've been here before, you want to come back?
Yeah.
So, thank you, Boston.
Yeah, right. I think you see that a lot around here, right? With those local cards, there's a last-minute dropout. They pull in the local guy to fill the slot. He impresses people, and they go on from there.
Yeah, and they do it all the time, and that's why I appreciate Boston. They definitely, and if someone falls out, they pull in their own every single time. Doesn't matter the venue. Doesn't matter if it's Bellator and everything. And like every venue that comes to Massachusetts, if someone pulls up, we always have local people, and they always fill the spots.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious to know, like, in your history of, in your training, like, did you start out as like a more Muay Thai base, or like how did you transition? Obviously, we talk a lot about the jiu-jitsu, but how did your training evolve? I guess is my question, right?
I'm glad you asked that. In my head, I'm a better grappler than striker. I started grappling more than striking. I always had raw power because I used, like, as a kid, I had a little boxing or whatever, but. I always loved grappling. Grappling was that's where I started. What happened is I was submitting people like left and right. People forget I got 7 different submissions on my record. So I was submitting people left and right, breaking arms, going crazy, whatever. But at that time, that wasn't the thing people wanted to see. It was the knockout. It was the knockout they wanted to see. And at that time, because the rules are changing, you couldn't work on the ground like you used to. Like back in the day with Gracie, they give you time, a good minute. So right now, at my time coming up, it was like 30 seconds. If 30 seconds you ain't doing it, it's a stalemate. They stand you back up. Because of that, I was like, you know what? I don't want a situation where I meet a wrestler. If I have better jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter. If he steals me, I'm going to get stand back up. Then it's going to repeat the process. So what I did is I got heavy into my striking, knowing I have power. And then that kind of like leaped my career and be able to knock people out. And because I had that, I was like, you know what? Well, let me put my grappling game in my pocket and push forward the striking game. And the striking game got me better fights. It got me in the UFC. And like it just got me better opponents, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like I like to even like people say like you hear this all sometimes like how you don't use your grappling. I do, but like I do in the sense to defend. But I want the action. I want to push the pace. I want that. I want the crack. You know.
Yeah.
That's my attitude. Like now I'm a little older. Like I kind of fall back more into my jiu-jitsu because I do have it. You know, I submitted. I can't say this guy. He's a Russian name. I can't. But in PFL. I'm not gonna try to screw your name out, brother. But I took his back, and I was the only guy to finish him ever.
Yeah.
In a submission, and people were impressed. I was like, yeah. And I told guys, y'all forget, I'm a 2nd degree black belt Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Like I've been doing this for years. It's just I pushed my striking more, but now becoming older and I think stronger. You know, now I'm pushing my Jiu Jitsu harder.
Yeah. I think if you ask people like who is John Howard, they'd be like, oh yeah, he's a banger, right? Like they would probably think that at first. But if you look at your record, or we went back and looked at a bunch of your fights, I was like, there's a lot of slams and like, there's a lot more grappling in there than you may actually have thought of as a casual fan, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I could see.
Yeah, I noticed that myself doing some homework heading into this, watching the old fights I hadn't seen in a while. Even the the fights that were heavily striking based, there's still a lot of slick jiu-jitsu that found its way in there.
Yeah, a lot, yeah. Matter of fact, Bahadur,
People just look past that stuff. There's
all the time. they all the time. Bahadur, the only reason why I beat him because I was able to take it down, pass, and mount him and take his back. So that's really why I beat. But his striking, the striking was even. It was that one thing. But that's what it is. A lot of people, you're right, absolutely. They absolutely forget about my jiu-jitsu, but it works for me because every time I get in the cage, it's like, oh, submission.
Yeah. I mean, even the Thiago Alves fight is hyped up as a striker versus striker, but you're going after leg locks. You had some slick guard play to defend and get back up to your feet.
Yep, and he's the one that initiated the takedown.
Yeah,
so that says a lot. Thiago Alves took me down.
Yeah,
and I looked at it like Thiago. So I said, bro, I thought we were gonna be. You took me down. I was like, I took it as a compliment.
Yeah, right.
I did. That's the biggest compliment. He's like, I want to win. I'm like, Thiago, I get that, but you don't take people down. You took me down to win. Thank you.
How much talking is there in the cage?
It's weird because it's like let's say with me is a beef and you do a slick move. We have no choice not to lie to each other. Like, listen, fuck you, but excuse my language, but good shit.
Yeah.
good stuff. Like, wow, good stuff. Like matter of fact, and the situations like even after the fight or during the fight, like you say you put me in a good move, like it hurts. I'm like, wow, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna use it. Pow.
Yeah,
we hitting. So there's a lot of exchange of techniques that's happening literally in that moment where even though we're beating up, we're still chess players.
Yeah.
So like, oh, okay, now I know that piece works. When I move that piece next time, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And we exchange. Then he does the same thing. Oh, you did this, I'm gonna use that. So it's a lot of that. Only when it's real personal, that chess game don't really happen. It's more like it's more grind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of techniques gets exchanged, and we talked to you like, wow. Even most of my opponents, we had a conversation and exchange techniques, and I tell them, thank you. You gave me education I needed.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, you wouldn't even have expected that at all. Like, because you don't see it so much. So it's hard to see if you're just a fan watching, right? So you wouldn't really know. And I know that obviously some guys they show Khabib like just talking shit to McGregor when he had him up against the fence, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think what made it a little bit more apparent was all of last year, the fights in the empty venues.
Yep.
You could hear everything.
Yeah.
You hear every word both guys are saying to each other. I think that's when people are like, are they always talking this much?
Yep. It's a weird conversation. It's the things that come up that you talk about. Sometimes my friend like, oh, so this, or like sometimes we'll have an inside joke amongst fighters. Like I won't say his name, but one fighter had me on my back. He knew he lost the fight. So I was like, all right, I want to get up and knock you out, but okay, let's see what you're going to do. So his corner said, hey, listen, you're losing the fight. You got to do X, Y, and Z. Me have a conversation. He's like, I hate when my corner says stuff like this. That's what he said to me. I was like, right, don't you hate that? He told you a whole game. I was like, this freaking idiot. He's like, all right. Well, I was like, well, on you.
Yeah.
So he was like, then he keeps yelling, get up, pound him up. Then he was like, I wish he would shut the fuck up. That's what he says all the time because now it's like, with this is like he knows I'm a veteran. I'm just listening to the corner. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there like, yep, he's gonna do this, and I'll look at them like, you gonna do this? He's like,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of weird, conversations happening, but it's really interesting. You know what? I'm gonna write a book about that. That's really funny.
Yeah, no kidding. The insider view, right? That we don't ever get to see. Yeah.
That's an interesting topic you bring up too about the coaches and the coaching advice. Even just cornering jiu-jitsu matches. I'm always conscious about how I'm cornering and what I'm yelling to the guys. Like, I'm trying not to overwhelm them with too much technical stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little bit here and there could help, but it's not like they don't know what to do. And then I also try not to be the guy that's just like screaming at the top of my lungs, yelling at them to just get up and just do whatever. It's trying to find that balance in between, motivate them when they need to be motivated. If they are really stuck in a spot and maybe they don't know what to do, lend a little bit of advice, but
well,
I feel like some corners just go over the top.
They go over the top. They corners for me, especially jiu-jitsu, they say too much.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Put your knee in, do this, do that, do that, do that, and you. Not only I can hear it, he can hear it. I can talk to my coach about, you hear what he's about to do.
Yeah,
so you're gonna do it. So the way I talk to Michael, and like, listen, I'm gonna say you see the technique, okay? I see a technique open. I'm not gonna yell it. Like, you see this technique? It's there. Believe in it. Believe in it. Okay, and I have them find it.
Yep.
Let's say they don't find the technique. It doesn't matter. Now the opponent knows. But now what happens is I explain to my students the reason why you see the technique because now your opponent's looking. Oh, what technique? So when they chains for the expected shift. They shift and give space. You take that space.
Yep. Right? Yeah, I got to corner against you at that last Naga. The big white belts.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's always my strategy, to let them discover themselves. Because like when you give too much information, especially in the heat,
too much.
Moment, it's too much,
especially for the beginners.
Yeah. It's too much. Because like, put your knee in, do this, and the guy stops it.
Yeah. And they probably don't even
hear, right? It's hard to hear like what's going on when you're on the mats like that.
When I compete and have like a student cornering me, I tell them, give me the time every couple of minutes, or when it gets down towards the end. If there's points every now and then, give me an update on what the score is, and if it looks like I'm just dragging ass and being lazy, give me a little motivation to move.
Exactly.
Right.
I do the exact same thing. I tell myself, that's exactly what I tell them. So let me know when I'm doing. That's it. Yeah. Who's winning? Who's not losing? Let me know when I need to settle when I'm not. That's it.
Yep.
That's actually real good.
How do you? I thought about this, and I have to edit this part out while I'm talking outside. You do a lot of teaching now. Like, how does that teaching versus fighting, right? I don't want you to pick one, but like, do you think of yourself as a teacher first now or a fighter first? Like, how do you?
I'm definitely a fighter first and a teacher second. And the reason why I'm such a good teacher is because I'm a fighter. Because I could teach you, instead of teaching the textbook way, like, hey, listen, here's the teacher's cheat book. Teach the kids this. Okay, just look at the answers. Versus like, no, I have my experience. I have my own answers. And I can say, hey, listen, this is what I'm supposed to show you, but this is what the real way is. So because I have the perfect experience, I make me a better teacher. Like, listen, you could do it this way, but I will do it this way, and break it like that. Honestly, what teaching is doing for me, especially right now, it's helping me fight better. It's reminding me of techniques, because I have stuff written down. I have videos of myself, like all the stuff I used to watch, and I have to watch and remind myself, like, okay, how am I going to teach it? Oh, yeah, okay, I got to do this or this, and remind myself. So then when I'm teaching it, now I not only teach it, now I reapply it to myself.
Yeah.
So it definitely complements me better. I mean, I love teaching so much, but I like fighting does just as much. It definitely, I need the two work each other out.
Yeah. You get all those gritty details when you're teaching, especially teaching beginners, right?
Yeah.
You show something and you're like, all right, everyone, let's go. And they're like, well, what did you do with your left hand over there? And you're like, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Let's work back through this and see what my left hand does without me thinking about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you apply that consciously back into your game.
Exactly.
And then there's always that whole dilemma. Like, you see a lot of people, they even do have experience. They'll teach something one way, but then you watch them. That's not how they apply it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I catch myself on that sometimes too. I'll watch back a video of a class and I explain something one way. I'm like, that's not what I actually do.
And that's why I love being a fighter versus a teacher, because that detail is so important. It's crazy. People don't understand that knowing those details, especially in fighting and everything, it's so much. It's better the way you do it, versus I call it the Jiu-Jitsu Bible says. Sometimes you're like, but
yeah. In Jiu-Jitsu, I feel like there's way too much of the right and the wrong.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people don't spend enough time exploring what's in between.
Yeah.
Well, this is the way I feel about Jiu-Jitsu now, being an older generation, and I can say that as a second-degree black belt. I think it got really watered down. Okay, I think they took a lot of submission out. They took a lot of techniques out that a lot of people are doing, the new age are doing, but don't even know why they're doing it. Okay, they're doing techniques. Okay, how come I can't do it like this? They're not explaining why this is illegal and like that. So what this is, not only you're not teaching these new kids to new stuff, you're not even teaching why they shouldn't do it. Why you just giving them, hey, listen, this is what we're supposed to teach you, and here's our rules now. Everyone's like, well, how come you don't teach leg locks now? How come you don't teach this and this and that? They're like, oh, don't worry about everything. And then until they meet a guy like me, and it's like, oh no, I know all the secrets. I know what you don't know. And then now I'm gonna abuse it, And I just think with that generation and of jiu-jitsu, I like my generation, older generation, because it teaches what not to do, what to do, just in case the situation. Look, probably never gonna happen, but just in case someone does this stupid, you could do this. Illegal here, legal here. Okay, a lot of people need to know that, and a lot of people don't, and that's why when they apply these certain stuff, like, how come this works in a situation? I'm like, yeah, that's a watered down version, not to hurt yourself. Versus like I teach it, this is why it got watered down, because this used to hurt people, and this is why it's watered down. So if you need to hurt somebody, you do this. You're in competition, you do this. That's the way I should be treated. There should be a discrepancy between what's sport jiu-jitsu, what's combat jiu-jitsu, and what's street jiu-jitsu. Instead of doing that, we don't do that no more. What we do is we take the combat and street, we put them over here as kind of, and we put the water down right here. It's like, well, yeah, this is good for sport, but what's the real stuff? And that's what I think was meant for this generation.
100%. We talked with Randy Haskins about the same subject when he was on the podcast. He's one of my purple belts and also has a lifelong of other martial arts training, and he's very big on the pragmatic approach to his self-defense training and clearly drawing that line on what is sport grappling.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with it, but it needs to be defined over there. That's sport. This is not.
Exactly.
And it's where people blur that line. He gets really upset about people that will play off sport jiu-jitsu and try to sell it in a self-defense manner.
Yeah, and I do too. And I don't and I get that for MMA too. For that, because what this is like, they saw sport jiu-jitsu as an MMA jiu-jitsu. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm the first one to say, no, sport jiu-jitsu, it's very good. It has its applications. It really does. But in the real situation, no. Half that stuff, when they show on sport jiu-jitsu, I won't even bring to the MMA jiu-jitsu because it'll get destroyed.
Yeah.
Right?
When you teach, are you teaching in mind of with like an MMA application in mind, especially like jiu-jitsu, right? If you're
every single time.
Yeah.
Every time I teach two different versions. I teach textbook and combat.
Yeah.
Then I teach history. I teach this is why this was doing it. This is where it originated, and this is. I try to get the history and break it down. Like, listen, guys, there's literally different levels. There's different books to this. Why you can do this? So that I try to teach it in apps. So listen, you could do this for the sport. Okay, but in MMA you could do it for this, or in the street you could do it like this. So I teach in every step of the way as scenarios and what violent situation they be in. Okay, listen, apply this technique in sport. Okay, listen, apply this technique in MMA. Okay, apply this in a fight to your dad, just in case you got hurt somebody. You got hurt somebody. This is what you do.
Yeah,
I'd rather you not do it, but I better you to know it for you to go home versus someone attack you.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Also explaining the history between and behind all of it.
Yeah. I think, and a lot of instructors don't do that nowadays. They just have this what they've been told and don't even do the whole research and just do it. And half the time, don't even know why they're doing it.
Yeah, I know as like a student who I've had a handful of instructors at this point in my life. Like, it's always beneficial to me to kind of understand that why. And you say this a lot in class too, right? Like, this is the way I do it, but the spirit of this is you're trying to get to the back, right? For essentially, right? Like, and that's always helpful to me because sometimes you get so like tied up with like the little details that you forget like what is it I'm trying to accomplish. Like, I'm trying to like arm lock this guy, but like I'm worried about like this and this and this, but like understanding the spirit, like, oh yeah, I got to shoulder lock him, like that. It makes it easier for me as a learner. I struggle with that,
Yeah, as an instructor, I struggle with getting myself buried in the details sometimes. Like, you just know so much. You want to tell your students every little detail about all of it. And, you have a room full of beginners sometimes, and you just see the look on their face. It's like, okay, let's roll this back. You're going to start here. I want you to get there.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. There's a ton of stuff going on in between, but for purposes of success tonight, start here, go there.
Yeah. Yep. That's super helpful for,
Yeah.
But I'm a details guy, so it's so hard sometimes.
I am too, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's perfect. Yeah. The way you try to start the end there, yeah. Because I do it too. I do like, listen, I tell them, listen, here's the technique. You're probably going to get all the way, but keep doing it. And then as time goes on, I'll point the details out. But do this motion.
Yeah.
All right. Do it at least 30 times. You're not doing it right, but you'll get it right. Okay, now you get it right, and then more and more recipes, and season it up.
Yeah. It also emphasizes to them how they need to stick with this long term, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to learn it all tonight. You're not going to learn it all this week. You have to keep coming back day after day, year after year.
Yep. I tell people all the time, I've been doing this for 18 years. I still don't know. I know maybe a fraction of what's out there. That's what I tell them.
It's amazing, right? Like, what other sports are there that happens, right? You're like, I'm doing this for 20 years and I still only got a little piece of it, right?
Exactly.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I have students teach for me sometimes. It's like, he's studying this new thing way more than I am, so share it with all of us.
Yeah. So how did the Doomsday nickname come about?
Oh,
You've probably been asked that a million times.
No, I love it. What happened is my one of my best friends a long time ago was supposed to, I call him my brother. I was supposed to be John Superman Howard. I wanted something that powerful. But when they said that, I was like, dude, I'm not going to be Superman. not happening. I was like, why? It's too corny. It's too, it's just not cool. I can't. Look where I'm from, Superman. Come on. So they're like, well, how about the guy who killed Superman? I'm like, well, who was that? They're like, they looked it up. Doomsday. I'm like, and I said a joke. Yeah, I want to be John Doomsday Howard. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
We kept saying it. I don't know. Yeah, John Doomsday Howard. John Doomsday Howard. We kept saying, I'm like, oh my God, guys, what? I'm John Doomsday Howard. Why? I was like, because it flows right.
Yeah.
It's like, it just says right. Like, it's like, guy John Doomsday. And when people say, who's Doomsday? The guy who killed Superman. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Automatically it gets a respect. Like, doesn't matter like he lost in the fight. Doesn't matter the outcome. The thing is he was able to kill the Man of Steel. You have to respect him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great nickname, dude.
Thank you.
not to Brown, but it was a great nickname. I posted a picture the other day of Doomsday, the comic book character, right? And I just said, like, this guy's coming, right? I don't know how many people connected it together, but it's definitely, I wasn't sure if that's exactly where it came from for you, but that's funny. It's perfect.
Thank you.
Do you ever have guys like, so I don't know that we've ever met before, but I've seen you at like some of the local fighting events, like Cage Titans in Plymouth and stuff like that, right? I'd seen you around, and I always thought it was, frankly, I thought it was cool that you were, out at the local events. You ever get guys like try to step to you and be like,
you get that sometimes, but then I like to not necessarily be alone. But when you get that, it's you kind of like, listen, bro. You just say some really sideways stuff to let them know, like, listen, this is not a problem when you want, because I know you think you're tough, I know you want to fight, but listen, there's no ref to stop me.
Yeah,
there's only me and you, and these guys ain't gonna jump in because you know who I am. If I get a physical with you, the stuff I'm gonna do with you is no comparison what you see me doing to the cage.
Yeah,
I was like, I give you a perfect example. You don't wanna walk out of here with something in you never had in you before. I give him a look. Want to experience that? No, I'm good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because listen, that when someone stop me, there's a reason why there's a ref to stop me. If there's no one to stop me, I'm enraged. I feel sorry for you because I could clearly say I'm defending myself.
Yeah.
And most of the time, some guys get the hit because they what it is, they're looking for the glory of victory.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, great if you win, but if you don't win, you know what I'm saying? So to the victorious, go the spoils. I was like, you don't want me to have you as my spoil, do you? No. Then leave me alone.
Yeah.
Does it happen often?
Not often.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I mean,
I get one or twice, but I let them know, like, listen, we could go outside and go away from everybody. We could find out, bro. I let them real quick, like, listen, like, I am a martial arts and everything, but anything, I'm a fighter. I'm from a dangerous neighborhood from Dorchester in Boston, one of the roughest neighborhoods in the area. I dealt with gangsters, drug dealers, cops, everything, bullying, of anything you can expect of. So when people come to me, I'm like, listen, I know about this life. Not to say I'm proud about that life, but let's not go there. If you want to go there, I feel sorry for you because you're not going to like how this result ends.
Yeah.
I just hope seeing you, at that last Naga, just interacting with everybody that was around and all that, I just can't imagine what would make somebody want to cross that line. You come across as such an approachable, nice person out in the public.
You know what it is? Some people just want they want attention. Social media, we created, this generation is different. They're not the younger. It's more the younger generation. They're not really. I don't think they really want to fight. They just want to look like they want to get the next hit. You got people putting hot sauce in their eyes just to get views. I mean,
yeah,
hot sauce in your eyes. I mean, come on, like, let me get this straight. Some kid almost went blind to get maybe not even a million. He got 100,000 views. That's it.
That's crazy, right?
It's crazy. Like, you almost lost your eyes for 100,000 views. Yeah. No money, no nothing, just for views.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they just want that little adrenaline rush. Right? That's what I think about. Like, find something else to do with yourself, right? Like, go join a boxing gym. Yep. Go do jiu-jitsu. Like, you need something else to get that little charge, man. Not putting hot sauce in your eyes to get views.
Just for views, bro. I'm like, can you imagine? Like, can you imagine if you told your parents you did that? They were whooped. Like, what? You did what? Right. Oh my!
My dad would lose his mind if I was a kid and that happened. Right?
For real. Oh, belts and everything be coming out. Like,
hot sauce is going to be the least of your
problems. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you want hot sauce? Yeah. You get this belt. Put some hot sauce on this belt.
You're gonna wish you took your eyes out with that hot sauce.
Right? Holy crap, man!
One of the things that we like to ask a lot of the folks who come in is like, and we've answered this question ourselves, and it's always awkward for us. But like, when people ask you if they don't know you and they ask you what you do, right? What do you tell them?
Most of the time I tell them, I'm a martial artist. I'm an instructor. That's the first thing. I'm instructor, teaches kids. I say I also fight, but I'm an instructor first. I go with the MMA instructor now, being older, versus like I'm an MMA fighter. Yeah. Like I just say that. I say I'm an instructor who also fights, but more instructor. And then when they find out who I am, like, oh wait, you mentioned like it's not like a big thing. It's like, no, it is a big thing, but I don't really push that. You know, because I don't want to come off as, you know, I don't say like cocky or anything. Like, I'm this MMA fighter. Yeah. I like to say, no, I'm a jiu-jitsu instructor. I teach kids from a second degree black belt. I also do Muay Thai. I fight when I can, but you know, that's my career. And then if this conversation carries on, then yeah.
And they Google you and get this 3-page list.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was like, what? And then they say all the time, how can we just talk it down? I'm like, I'm really proud of what I did, and I still love what I really do. But I'm not trying to like impress everybody. Like, yeah, you know, it's not like no, this is my life. This is what I do. This is how I live. This is what I do. And like, if you want to follow me, help me, love me, thank you. But I'm not trying to be that like celebrity thing. You know, no. I'm trying to be like if I do become that, but to be realistic, almost like Joe Rogan. Like, hey, Joe Rogan's Joe Rogan. Okay, and the way I love about him, the way he carries himself, it's like he can't help it. He is who he is. He doesn't underplay it. He doesn't overplay it. He just tells it how it is. You know, and that's what it is. I just tells how it is, and whatever you want to take from that, and how you want to explore that, blow it up, so be it.
Yeah. We were saying like, you know, like, what is that thing you do? You guys do like, you guys do UFC? You know, people always say something stupid like that. And I always like, I don't know how to explain jiu-jitsu to them, right? Yep. So I always just kind of just avoid the conversation, right? Because people are like, oh, you can, does it mean you can kick my ass?
Don't want to mess with you.
Yeah, don't want to mess with you, right?
Oh, I hate that. Oh, my God. You're
like, it'll just kind of end the conversation. But everybody has a little different approach, right, when they're asked. Like, everybody has a slightly different answer. But I think a lot of us kind of like dial it back, like you said, right? Yeah. I mean, you obviously have a lot more fame than anybody here, but like, you know, just dialing back so people, I don't know, people act weird, right? They get weird about it.
They get really weird and weirdly like, oh, we got to do this. And they get really, all of a sudden they develop, I don't know if there's fear, but I don't want to say fear. They develop this unnecessary caution that was never freaking needed in the first place. I hate that.
It's like they think you're just going to fight them because you know how to fight.
Because you know how to fight. Like, okay, listen, so now I have a conversation with you. Now they have to either let you know they're not afraid of you. There's so many things that go in their head that, like, listen, I respect you, but I'm not scared of you. So now they feel they have to be almost challenging just to be in front of you. It's like, no, this is why I want to tell you what I want to do for them.
Yeah.
Because now whatever your fears and concerns are they're growing in you, and now focusing on energy on me. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm just trying to eat some chips.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. We're just here to hang out and have a burger.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to do, man. What the hell?
Yeah.
So like that's what I think. But I think what this is, it's just like people when it grows in their head, their own fears becomes anything, and their fears and anxieties kick in, and then they attack you over it. So stupid. So stupid.
People don't know what to make of it, right?
Yeah. No. Yep. Like, I don't want to make you. And then what's crazy is they see us and like, well, I look like, you don't look that tough. And it's like, and the first thing is like, it's not as well as out, man.
You're like, want to find out?
Exactly. And that's what it is. And that's what it is, man. Let me tell you an experience. This is why I know I was meant to fight probably for the rest of my life. So I took some time off of fighting. Went back to an electrician. I had to take a year off, whatever. So I got a job with somebody, and on this job, we had to travel to different place to place. So we travel around places. He gets a little tipsy. Okay. Now, he gets a little tipsy. We got to stay in one room, 3 guys, but 2 beds, 1 cot. I take the cot. Listen, you take the cot, go to bed, you're tipsy, no big deal. Now he's like, no, I want to know something. I'm like, what? I was like, I know you're John Doomsday. How I just want to feel it. I'm like, so I get up.
Here we go.
Fight me for this bed.
So let me get this straight. I give you the cot. You feel it. You want confrontation now because you can't believe that you're chilling with, or whatever the situation, you're working with John Doomsday Howard. Now you want to fight me. Are you serious? Yes. Stands up. I get up. I'm like, all right, guy, I'm not going to fight you. I'm going to grapple you. You ready? All right, cool. Go. Put that dude to sleep. Put him in the bed. And I was like, looked at my partner. And I was like, I'm going back to fighting, bro. Why? This is BS. I had to put someone to sleep to go to sleep.
Yeah.
This is some BS. I was so mad because people don't understand. You know how you got to work yourself up and put all that energy up, but now people think to bring it back down. Like, no, I can't bring that back down. Now I'm up here.
Now you're trying to go to bed.
Now I'm trying to go to bed. Now I can't. He's sleeping. Yeah. It took me a good 2 hours to
now you're going to be tired for work in the morning.
Exactly, because this asshole he put to sleep.
Yeah, that's what he need. He only needed to do was go to sleep anyway, right?
Exactly. That's all he needed to do. That was it. But I'm the one up. I was so pissed. I was like, oh my goodness. So like, my boy's like, but you won. Like, no, did I?
Yeah, there's no winning.
Yeah. When I'm lying awake and staring at the ceiling.
Exactly. Did I win? Oh man.
That's great. So what do you do when you're not teaching or fighting? What would people be surprised is John Doomsday Howard hobby?
I don't think I'm surprised. Just know that I just stay home, play video games. I mean, I might do the average thing, might go out, I like to dance here and there, but honestly, my life is boring. I have an 18 and 19-year-old now, adults. That really still bugs my head. Oh my god, girls at that. So like having that, it changes your outlook of life. I really don't want to be out partying so much. I don't want to be out doing so much. So now what I really do is I kind of look forward to being more of a dad and being home and chilling and just being that dad. That's the best way to because with this is like when you have kids and your kids are older and they're running the streets and they're doing certain like 18 and 19 year old stuff, my biggest fear is to stop doing that stuff and bump into them.
Oh yeah, right.
Like, hey, what you doing here?
Yeah.
Well, Dad, I'm of age. I should be home. Yeah. So it's my kids' turns to have all the fun. So right now I just concentrate I'm the boring side of the people want to call it life. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it just like being a dad, looking in like buying a house and fixing my house up and just doing regular stuff, fixing my own stuff, being a man's man, I'm really finding myself as like that just growing up. That's the best way to explain it. Like before it was all about like partying and everything, the fame and everything. Now it's about like I enjoy the fame and everything, but now that's more work for me and more it's about me. It's just me being comfortable and being satisfied with myself. I don't need. I love the fame. I love everything like that, but I also love being wholesome and being grounded and being wherever I'm from and just enjoy the simplicity of life.
I think speaking my language.
Yeah,
I love boring life.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, like. I think that comes with getting a little older too, right? Like if you get a little older, we're like you don't want to give up what you earned all your life, right? But at the same time, there's something about like being like, oh, I'm perfectly fine just chilling right here and like doing my thing, working on my house, whatever it is, right? Like I'm perfectly fine with that.
Like the pandemic lockdowns last year, like aside from my jiu-jitsu business going down the toilet because of that, it's like I have to stay at home.
Yeah, right. Like, oh,
speaking my language now.
I was happy. I was like,
hang out with the family. We'll go fishing every day.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I was happy. Like honestly, that time. I think that time was started for the pandemic, but that kind of like needs something like that was the way the positive I take on that is to humble people and like listen. Y'all learn to be satisfied. Like you at home and everything. You should be happy at home. And when people like freaking out, I'm not happy. Like you're not happy at home. Let me get this straight. If God say, hey, listen, for the rest of your being, you just be at home. But you can't just be at home.
Yeah,
and then a lot of people find out that they're not satisfied with themselves. Yeah. You can't be at home, right? And it be simple. Have your kids like all the time. How many times people say, I wish I had time to pick my kids on it. They see a positive. The one thing in being home is now all this time, you have all this time to be with your kids, to do all this stuff you couldn't do. Now you could have done, but now that what you could have done drove you crazy.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, you're right. Like if you can't be happy at home, like something else is going on. That's a great point. I think people were like more like they were antsy because they just couldn't. It's not like
it was the unknown.
If they couldn't go out, right? Like they couldn't do other stuff, right? It's like, but I'm perfectly happy being at home.
Me too.
I'm an old fart, so. What video games are you playing?
I'm playing Tekken, Call of Duty, Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur's old school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Sometimes Virtua Fighter, I get in there. And Capcom versus Marvel 2. I play that.
Yeah, so you're old school games.
Yeah, I'm old school games.
Yeah.
I'm with the
What platform's that on?
I go up between PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
They have definitely PS5, but some games are not still compatible.
Yeah.
On both platforms.
Yeah, no kidding. It's the first time we've talked video games on the podcast, but we could go down that rat hole too. Breaking some new ground over here. Man, I remember when the first PlayStation came out. Must have been the first one. Was the Soul Calibur was on the first PlayStation? I'm trying to remember the fighting game where you had swords, right? Soul Calibur was swords?
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
And I was like, this is the greatest game in the history of fighting games. Like, I love that game so much. Yeah. Now I can't play them anymore. I suck at fighting games.
I try to keep up, man. I'm actually pretty good, man. But the next generation, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Impressive. I used to play games competitively, professionally, and now, oh man.
Did you really? Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play Tekken professionally, like, and let me tell professional this, like, so here I am thinking, playing professional is just you just sit up all night, like, no, I never forgot why I'm a professional player. He came to me, he was like, all right, you want to be professional? It's like, yes. Turn the game off. I'm like, okay. Pulls out this book, this thick, bang, study. I was like, what's this for? He was like, you have to know the framework, you have to know this, you have to know that, you got to know the science, you got to know why you do this, the just frames and everything. So I'm like, this is what y'all pros do? He was like, yeah. He's like, you have to be on it. So when I learned what a real pro is to a video game, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely like, it's like a chessboard. Like, no, listen, you see that frame, you got to be here. See this chess frame? When this happens, you do this, and all that. The commands, then I had to get the controls, what controls was fast and all that. I was like, it blew my whole mind. Yeah. Like, oh my goodness, I thought playing video games professionally was just sitting here
playing video games, right? Yeah,
it's school.
Yeah,
I literally went back to school with that, and I mean, thank God it was a video game because I'm like, no, I'll do this, but I only did it because it's like, oh my God, I'm doing schoolwork on a video game, I did it.
You ever play any of the UFC games?
Yeah, I played a few of them. Made my character once and everything. I actually not that good for some reason.
I could never get the hang of those.
I'm not good because with this, it's all about like timing and kind of it's like button mashes. It's not coding. I'm used to playing game coding. When I'm playing, it's more mash. Who mashes better wins.
Yeah, so you're not like doing a combination of controller and button combinations to get to do something, right? Yeah. I never was good at those either. Like, there's just something about it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So before we hit record, we were chatting about Eddie Bravo a little bit. What are your thoughts on his combat jiu-jitsu?
Awesome. Actually, I tell a lot of people, if you want to get to MMA, do combat jiu-jitsu because combat jiu-jitsu gets your reality check what jiu-jitsu is, sport-wise, when the combat jiu-jitsu is, because a lot of stuff you do in sport jiu-jitsu, you're not doing in combat, especially slapping people. Like, you're not. I mean, definitely sometime in my career, I want to do a combat jiu-jitsu, definitely, because I want to knock somebody out in combat jiu-jitsu because people don't understand, like, Boss Rutan back in the day, pancration style, he used to knock people out with his palms. Mm-hmm. And people understand, standing over somebody with that much power, they come down, they can really knock you out. They can really hurt you.
Did you catch any of this last weekend, the middleweights?
I caught some of it, and
there was some good striking in that one.
I heard it.
There was that exact scenario. I think it was Mikey Gonzalez standing over the guy, palm strike straight down, stopped him with strikes.
Yep. He was going to the gut. He was going to bar. He was messing him up. And I was like, oh, that's combat jiu-jitsu. Like, that's a hard reality check, and that's what I think. Like when we say earlier about. If jiu-jitsu needs to be reminded, thank God for 80 for bringing back that. Like, hey, guys, I know we're cool, but if you really want to get in a fight, you can't be doing this because this is why.
You see the changing in the guard play.
Yeah.
It's like the Z guard, open guard play is, he calls it purgatory. You're at the mercy to get hit. You got to be all the way in or all the way out.
Exactly. If you're not, you have to be in between. And then what people understand is jiu-jitsu, when someone's hitting you, it's better to stand up, my opinion. And like, when people like try to pull guard and pull someone on top of you, and all you do is sit up, like, no. If someone's going to start hitting you, kick them off, you get up. You might as well just reset versus trying to, like, the more you try to stick in deep, and a lot of people do is they like to be in this weird neutral space, and every time they get punished for it, it's ridiculous. But, like, I tell them, the way I teach the combat jiu-jitsu for my people who come see me, I tell them, listen, either you hitting, but if you're on your back, get up. Don't sit there and try to play. No. As soon as they slap you hard in the face, it doesn't get up and go back to neutral. Because if you're back on your feet, he can't hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's very interesting. It's an entirely different strategy than both sport jiu-jitsu and MMA.
Yeah, totally different because it really matters who's on top. And what I think it's just like not even being on top. It was matters who's in a position to really deliver a punch. You know that I hit because the rules of combat jiu-jitsu. Once someone's on someone's back, you can hit. Like I don't know if you ever see me knocked out Dan Roberts in my flying punch, like my Superman punch, my Doomsday Punch, I call it. Imagine that in combat jiu-jitsu. That would be my strategy, to take you down, work you, wait till you're tired, get you up, pull you up. As soon as you go shrimp to get up, I'm going to fly in. All right, and then that's not a glove. That's my open palm.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, I can snap bats with my limbs. So if I catch you, you're done. There's no way.
You hear that? You hear that, Eddie?
Have you told him to get you on?
Yeah. We talked about it. There's possibilities. Nothing's set in stone yet, but there's possibilities. Right now, I'm trying to get back to the big show. I want back. I want the person I'm chasing right now definitely is Ray Cooper. The whole situation with PFL, what happened?
The elephant in the room.
Yeah. I'm chasing. I do want to do combat jiu-jitsu, but right now I'm chasing my MMA career because I think I deserve. I need to be where I need to be.
So how exciting is it every time Joe Rogan brings up and blows up the Ray Cooper knockout?
Oh, I love it. Shout out to Joe Rogan. Thank you so much, Rogan. You're the best, man. You always had my back, man. Being from Massachusetts, he's from Newton. He always had my back. He always been so proud of me, and I'm obviously so proud of him because the stuff he's been doing. I every time he does that, I say thank you so much, man, because it's that honestly, that little clip, him doing that, I believe saved my career. Right? Because it saved my career to the point where they can't sweep out that knockout.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they tried, and they keep trying, because people are like, oh, you know, they try to be quiet about Ray Cooper, but someone else pops up, well, Ray, you got knocked out. So you can't sweep it. So thank God Joe Rogan did that for me. But it's also reminded to like Ray Cooper, you know, that I'm there. And I want to say to him, like, dude, you want to walk away getting knocked the hell out like that? You're the world champion. You got destroyed. And then I'm calling you Ducky. I'm talking trash about you. I'm calling out your name and everything. You're not responding. That's a real spot. I thought you was a man, bro. I thought you was about to hear you talking about you want to fight Rory because what he did at BJ Penn, how he beat up BJ Penn. Okay, but you don't want to defend yourself. You want to take another man's battle, but not yourself, dude? Yeah. Rory beat up BJ Penn. Okay, I understand he showed up. He shouldn't have did it, but I understand where you're coming from. I knocked you the hell out, bro. Why you ain't say nothing about me? Why you keep trying to sleep on the rug? Where's this? I'm a man. I'm confident. I do it for my country. I do this. Yeah, I take care of my. Okay, so when it comes to John Doomsday Howard, now you're quiet. Right? And on some real stuff, man. Stop being a pussy. That's some pussy stuff. I thought you was a real man, dude. You really shocked me. You disappoint me, dude. I showed you so much respect, but now I don't. I cannot believe it that like you go out and then on top of it, you really pissed me off. You come out, you call the world champion Usman, the UFC world champion Usman, but you ain't say nothing about me. Yeah. How you calling Usman scared of me? Oh my God, you such a pussy.
Is the Rory McDonald thing just like I have to like stand up for somebody else? Like I don't even understand like that logic, right? Like so it had nothing to do with him.
Yeah, exactly. It had nothing to do with it. It's just I don't know if he did it to make it good. Media, maybe, I don't know, but the way he was talking, like he was serious about it. He was like, because I watched the whole thing. He was a kid. He was there. He watched it, and it felt good to be revenge BJ Penn. I'm like, good for you.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah.
How about yourself, brother? Like, what's up with that? We're avenging other men where I broke your jaw almost, basically.
Yeah.
And nothing.
That clip is so good.
Yeah.
Every time I see it and everything, and you know what's funny about? I'm gonna say this. And I don't know if he's going to take this the right way. I don't know if it's going to scare him, but I'm going to be real. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say this. I'm going to watch y'all, okay? What y'all not seeing is that left hook, that wasn't what I was trying to hit him with. I was just trying to put him in. What I want to hit him with, I missed. It was my right hand, right? And thank God I missed because I don't know what happened. It might have been worse, right? But here's my thing. I'd say to Ray, like, just know when we fight again, bro, that's me hitting you going backwards. I cannot wait hitting you going forwards. Because I hit way hard going forwards. And I think that's what he's scared. Because he came to me like, oh, I just reacted.
Yep.
Okay? I was like, Ray, I didn't attack you. Imagine when I attack you. Oh my goodness! But that being said, you are bitching out. You're beating people. You're beating. When you beat Rory, I'm like, okay, call me out. Let's go, man. You beat Rory. You beat the most fair guy in the PFL, aside from Marga, and you got to fight Marga. Okay, but that being said, nothing for me. Nothing about me. Absolutely not. You playing straight bitch. Are you serious, bro? Are you serious? Dude, and the thing is, it's like, what I'm mad about is like, dude, we come from the same atmosphere. You talk about how, like, oh, your mother, you want to pay bills for your mother and all this, and how you grew up in Hawaii and all this, and how life was hard for you. I understand for that. Everybody has their struggles, but, dude, you don't want to hear about the struggles. I'm not even going to come here and get on my knees, or I have struggles. Yeah, I have serious struggles, too. But if you're about that lifestyle, dude, I need to eat, too, bro.
Let's get it done.
Let's get it done.
And who doesn't want to see that fight?
Yeah, right.
Right, exactly. Who don't want to see that? That fight makes 100. It makes sense in every situation. It makes sense. I fought Ozzy, dominant decision. I'm gonna fight again in 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna kill that kid. And not to overlook you. I'm not sure. That's the way I'm feeling. Okay, but whatever. Let's say I even don't. It doesn't matter. Ray, you should be chasing me right now, and you're not.
Yeah, apparently there's only one person who doesn't want to see that fight.
Yeah,
only one person. The one man who's got to stand across from you, I guess. Shit.
So what do you got coming up for a fight?
So I got coming up MMA October 23rd against Tyler Ray. He's a pretty good 8-2, pretty good grappler, well-rounded little thing. I think I have a little experience with him. I just want to see what happens because I've seen him fight. I think he's a great fighter, but I think his fighting style just benefits me. He comes forward. He either likes to get hit hard or he likes to take down. And the thing is, if he tries to take me down, he has to worry about my second-degree jiu-jitsu. You know, it's funny when I meet these people and they say, "Oh, are you worried about someone taking you down?" I'm like, "No, I have some of the best jiu-jitsu around. I train with some of the best guys around, so I'm not even immense worried. They should be worried."
Yeah. We have a couple things we like to ask people. Pretty standard, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, it should be easy for you. Usually, we ask guys like, "All right, if you were a fighter, what would be your walkout song?" Right? But I want to know from you is like, how do you choose your walkout song?
Oh, that was easy. My walkout song is always has something that makes me feel like Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the number one walkout song is the same one I walked out in Boston, Doomsday.
Yeah.
Because it just says it. It's just the way it comes in, it builds up, and then Doomsday.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's enough said. It just says that one word.
Perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Yep. Yeah, we've had all kinds of different answers, right? Like slow songs, fast songs, heavy songs. Like, yeah.
I like to hear because I want to hear my point. Like that's what's coming to the ring.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Yeah. Doesn't matter. That's when I want my point. No, listen. You might win, you might lose, but you're fighting Doomsday, and this might gonna suck for you.
Yep. Amen.
We'll add that one to our playlist.
Yeah.
We're working on a running playlist of all the songs that people answer that question with. I know you got this fight in a couple of weeks. What else is going on big in the world of Doomsday?
Doing a little movie pilots here and there. We did a little.
I've been seeing some of that.
Yeah. We did that. It was fun to have me and my students. Shout out to Doomsday Jiu Jitsu. That whole crew. We came and did a little fight scene together. It turned out great. We just waiting to be submitted and see what happens with it. So what it is basically like a pilot test for a movie to get to hopefully get it going. If someone picks it up, we get another shoot. So that's what it is. It's test. So we're gonna say if they work together. If it does, I mean the quality. I saw some of the stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's basically about it's a sci-fi story. It's a story about this guy who could travel through time, and he captures kids. Okay, of course I'm the bad guy. He captures kids, but for money, whatever. But he captures kids traveling through time. There's like time travelers, like police officers or something like those lines, who stops it. Wow, he messes up my business. I go get the hit guy's daughter. With that, he chases me, right? And that's all. And that's the whole crossing. And the way it ends is like he gets all the kids, right? Except for his daughter. But I told him like, oh no, I know you can get all the kids, but I have your daughter. We're gonna talk, and that's the way it ends. So it's a crazy dynamic. So we're gonna see what happens. I mean, it should go somewhere, but you never know.
That's fun. It's funny. We were just talking about that.
I know.
We were just talking about doing shooting an action movie here, like with just everybody, just something fun to shoot and do a little promotion for the school and so that's what's funny. I forgot that you had posted some of that stuff before. Yeah, that's awesome.
I say definitely do it, man.
Yeah. Are you a sci-fi fan?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like movies? Or?
Movies more than the shows, but anything. Definitely movies. My favorite sci-fi movie. I know it's old school. It's Endgame.
Yeah.
Game Enders is so there's a movie. It flopped in the movie there, but I just like the whole concept with it, where those genius children, they're like just geniuses, like playing chess and playing like war games.
Yep.
They basically train these kids to be the best of the best and use them to use their soldiers to kill this planet.
Oh, they pilots?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember seeing the trailer for that show. Yeah.
And they do it, but the way it turns out and everything, it was just crazy because basically this kid is so smart that he took only 100,000 people, and defeated like a billion inhabitant planet. So it was crazy. The whole way put together. That's my favorite. But yeah, I love sci-fi. I love that whole imagination and aliens and all that stuff. Yeah, I love the possibilities of the possibilities.
Yeah, I hear you. So you think there's aliens out there?
I honestly, I think we're not the only ones. This can't be. The universe is too big. It's too naive to think we're the only ones in. And it's just certain stuff. Like I don't have the not the education, I should say. I don't have the legit education, the papers to say that I know this and this and that. But it's just certain stuff that lets me believe that we're definitely not alone. When you say stuff like, "Oh yeah, we could get to Mars," but like 75% of the ocean still to discover, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. When you say like, yeah, we know the pyramids are built, but we're not sure, and there's different forms of it, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so and then the fact that we know the universe how big it is, like there's no way to be naive. Like guys, come on.
Yeah, the odds, right? Just say
the odds. Like you really think of the odds of all the billions and billions and millions and all this, we're the only ones. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Get the hell out.
Dude, we're breaking all kinds of new ground on the podcast, right? We got sci-fi, we've got video games, we got all kinds of stuff we're breaking into. Movie shorts.
Yeah,
right?
getting out of our jiu-jitsu mold.
I love it.
Awesome.
So if people want to train with you, where can they find you? Plug your gyms.
Oh, definitely. My gym, FAF Kickboxing in the Holbrook, 275 6th Street in the Holbrook. That's one gym. That's my main gym. Dave Ginsburg, Ginsburg Jiu Jitsu, 200 Cambridge Street in Boston, Massachusetts. Burgess MMA in New Hampshire. I don't know the exact address. I think it's 21 Auburn Street. Not sure, but I
just
think
look
it's
up
that.
Burgess
But
MMA.
Burgess MMA, I'm there every Saturdays. Every Tuesdays nights, I'm at 14. Wow, I can't remember this. 1445 Main Street, Tewksbury, Gorilla Fitness, and Tewksbury. Those are the main gyms I'm at between. If you ever want to catch me training, I do cross train at other gyms, but they're not really my gyms. It's just people I go and visit. And also, anytime you want, seminars. I'm always available for seminars if you want to do that. I mean, after the result, definitely hit these guys up and see how you like it. If it's worth it, I travel. Anyway, I could travel, get a plane, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm with it.
Yeah, as soon as we wrap this podcast, we got a seminar coming up here. John's been super easy to work with, and we're excited to gobble up what he has to teach us.
That's right.
Then what are your social medias? Where can people follow you?
Yeah, so I got John Doomsday Howard, basically everything. So John Doomsday Howard on Instagram, John Doomsday Howard on Facebook. Try to get John Doomsday Howard on my fan page. Go there. I could respond there, guys. My personal page only allows me a certain amount of people. Because of that, I can't respond to you there because I can't. So you have to go on my fan page. Also, TikTok. I'm on TikTok. John Doomsday Howard on TikTok. Yeah, I'm there. I'm John Doomsday Howard on Twitter too. I don't really respond to Twitter that much. I do here and there, but I just it is there. But if you hit me on Twitter, don't expect me to get back to you. I'll get back to you here and there. But my main platform is TikTok, Facebook, and IG. And if you want to get personal and really get to talk to me, I love Snapchat. John Doomsday Howard Snapchat. I like talking to people right there because it's more of a one-on-one situation. IG is just so sporadic, like someone hitting you so many times. But if you really want to get to know me, John Doomsday Howard TikTok, hit me up. I'll talk to you.
Awesome. Jeff, any closing remarks?
Yep. Don't forget to like and follow us on YouTube. Thanks for Rolling Podcast. And you can find us on all of your standard podcast services, Apple, Google, Spotify, et cetera, et cetera. And as the young kids say, smash that like button, subscribe, and give us any feedback. We'd appreciate it. John, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, this was a blast. Can't wait for the seminar up next.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, but to have some fun.
Yep. Thanks, man.
All right.
All right, Ray, we're out.
Hey, real quick, and Eddie, just know, I respect for you, I am going to get a little Johnny Blaze before I teach.
Nice.
Here we go.